watching from TikTok, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to log off the second one that I use for both Instagram and YouTube. For TikTok, you can be able to change the live info without logging off. So anyway, so let's use this air cannon. I like this black color. So we've changed the flight. So we're now flying from Toronto. We're going from Toronto to should I try runway 19 again? I don't want to crash. Like, I just don't. At some point, I'm going to start getting lawsuits from these companies. Because some of my videos are on YouTube, and if you Google like something, it may come up. But then somebody will have to now look at it and say, oh, my bad. It's a flight sim. It's not a real, so and companies don't want anything negative with their name on it. So let's not do that. All right, so let's just do what I don't like the bees. So we go to 8, 7, 7. So we're gonna fly from Pearson. So that's about time. So it's going to be an hour and 30 minutes. That's good. So let's go ahead and fly it. So I don't know if you can see it, but I'm generating my, I need to reset it. I'm generating my flight plan, and I'm pre-filing on VATS now. That's done. I found it. So now let's log into VATS. I hope nobody has taken that. Okay. And we're online. I like starting off with this view to make sure that I didn't spawn on somebody. Okay, we're good. I didn't spawn on anybody. All right, it's already dark. See, that's the problem. Like I work, when you work nights, you have to be ready to start having your clock a little messed up. So now, let's see. But I want to make sure this is live. I want to make sure this is live because there was a time I changed it. Yes, I changed it. So it says real time, correct? No. Real time. No, that's live. Traffic, whether for the past live players, whether for the past. How do I save this? Because it looks like every time I step out, or maybe I should do it before. Correct. Now it's done it. Good. All right. how this looks. This is because of the brakes. I don't know if it's clear. We can just focus on one thing and then you see it with or without it. So I'm about to choose another. I'm about to choose um, another parameter. Just 1 second. Let's see if you notice anything on the screen. I'm about to change the parameters. Okay, I want to see if you notice any difference. So I'm about to change the enviro set to something else. And here we go. I'm about to update it to another one. Did you notice any difference? Okay, let me do another one. Here's another one. During the day, you may notice more the difference better than at night. But that's what I use to get my this textures looking like this. And that's what I use. It's called the Rex Atmos Core. Alright, so let's get back to it. And there was a time I thought about investing in this. Like if I had a house and I had some space that I build my own flight simulator. Um, but I don't think that I'm glad I didn't do that. I feel like it would really have been a waste of money. Even though I would say that, well, I'm doing it for me, not for others. But still, I don't think I'm at a point where I can put almost $20,000 just for fun, you know. And there are some people that are doing it, and um, it's just hard to get people interested in flight sim, you know, because today's world is totally different. Like, you know, uh, people want something to happen. Like, they want you to blow something up. I bet you if you have a game where once the pilot gets to cruise, he'll kill the co-pilot and then the co-pilot will crash. I bet you that kind of thing would, oh my goodness, I can see the subscription like going off the roof. But unfortunately, that's where we are at. Uh, you know, so. But this is a very quiet game. In real life, you want your flight to be as uneventful as possible. Some people don't even want to talk to anybody. Like they just want to just go in, take their seat, and if God is good to them, they will have nobody sitting to their left or their right. Uh, you know, don't talk to them. They don't want your little cookies or candies or whatever you want to serve for a 1 hour flight. They just want you to leave them alone. They just want that peace. So unfortunately, that's not what people, that's not what our society wants. They want you as you're boarding, grab the pilot, break his neck, like grab the flight attendant, smash one or two people, like that is a game. That is what people will call yes. Now we want to buy it. I bet you if you put something like that in Microsoft Flight Sim, I bet you the subscription will go off the roof. Uh, but unfortunately, that's not what this game is. See, you want everything to be peaceful. You don't want any drama. people want drama. Okay, so we are getting ready. Let me do my flight plan first before I let the GSX take over. So we are Air Canada 1212. So let's get that. 1212. And our cost index for this flight is, I wish somebody would one day tell me what's the difference between the cruise profile and the cost index. I think I should actually Google that. Yeah, let me see. I've always thought about this. And cost index, because that's what I've been using. The cruise profile refers to the specific speed and altitude at which an aircraft is scheduled to fly during a flight. It is determined by the aircraft's weight, fuel, load, and the flight's operational requirements. The cost index, on the other hand, is a measure of the importance placed on fuel savings compared to other operational costs. A lower cost index indicates a greater emphasis on fuel efficiency, resulting in lower climb and cruise speed, higher. Okay, so that's how they are related. Okay. So a higher CI would suggest greater importance be placed on fuel savings, which can lead to higher speeds and shorter descents. Okay, so that explains probably why we will fly all the way to 32,000 feet for just 10 minutes and start coming down rather than stay at a lower altitude. Okay, so that explains it. See, I believe every day I can learn something. So I just learned that. I've been thinking about it, but I never really, I'm like, how is this related? Okay, so that's how they're related, all about efficiency. Okay, so cost index would be 9. I would like one of the jobs that I would hope to have in life before I die is to work for an airline. Like I want to be the person that is responsible for calculating the fuel load for each plane. Like I need to, that means I really need to do my calculation, because even though the computer will do their calculation, you still have to do your own calculation to make sure that it tallies, because otherwise nobody is getting off the ground. So I would love to do that. You know what that means? Like I would love to, oh my gosh, like I would do it for free. Because it will give you access to, oh my goodness, you'll be talking to the crew, you'll be talking to everybody in operations will know your name, because without you, that plane will not depart. So you gotta talk to the pilots, you gotta know all the co-pilots, you gotta know the entire staff, the crew, everybody. Ooh, pilots will be giving you a tip to make sure that their plane takes off. I'm just kidding, of course not. Yeah, but it's gonna be, I've always wanted that kind of play in an airline. Okay, now I tried the ATC, but I didn't even know there's an age restriction, man. You can't. I think after you after a certain age you can't join. You can't be an air traffic controller, and you must retire at a certain age. So they really are very, very serious on age with that air traffic control. Very, very serious. I looked them up. One of them, there was this guy on the internet talking about them. For every 2 hours, you have to take a break for 15 minutes, something like that, just to make sure you are on, you know, you are on alert, or like you can't blink, you can't blink. All right, so we're departing Toronto Riggs. We're departing Toronto. Let's see, runway 5. We're using Riggs. should we do the dollars now or later? We can do dollars now, right? So dollars, we're expecting runway 19 left. And wings. And then PB, PSB. Alright. Okay. And we do have, I think we have, oh my goodness, there's a lot of centers online. Okay. We have tower. So let's get ahead and let's put them on standby. Okay. And do we have, yes, do we have our 80s? I believe we filed, right? A Canada 1212, that's what we have. We did the filing. Okay. Alright. So let's start our GSX. Let's let it run. Alright. So what are we
Refueling truck
expecting?
is on its way.
We need about, we have 6,000 pounds of fuel on board. We need 17,
Please don't
so
load
we need
aircraft
roughly
until
almost
the fuel
about
truck arrives and ask to do it.
11,000. So we have cargo, 7,260 pounds. They'll start loading that after the fuel. And then for this plane flight, we have we're expecting 132 souls on board. That is gonna start. The sequence will start
Catering vehicles
after
are on their way.
fuel and at the time of loading the luggages and cargo. Okay, so that's it. We're all set up.
Fuel truck is in position.
I do not know what attracted me to.
Please don't
to
load
flight,
aircraft
like
until the fuel
flights.
truck arrives and ask to
I
do
guess
it.
I just loved aviation right from when I was a kid. On this VATS, for instance, I don't know if you can see the top right there. I have, it says clearly that I've spent 10,535 hours total time on this platform. 10,535 hours. I should have been a captain by now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what is called waste of time. 10,535 hours online. Now that is online. That is online. Okay? You don't want to know offline. Because I can tell you I've done about 10 times more offline. Because I used to fly long haul. I've always flown long haul. And I get in trouble on VATS because I will fall and I'll fall asleep. And then I'll tell them, wait, come on, you don't expect me to really be sitting here for 12 hours flying to Dubai. Like I have to go to work, you know. So they used to dox me on that. They used to, you know, I'm sure I have the list of somebody that has been suspended on VATS. So, but I enjoy this a lot, and it's my
Please use your
little,
airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel
it's
quantity.
my little vice, if you want to call it that. I can't do the real thing because I have very bad eyesight. I have bad astigmatism. So they told me the good news is that I can fly my own plane. I told them the bad news is that I'm broke right now. So, but I'm going to start doing flight lessons probably by the end of this year. They say blind people can now fly, so I mean, why not? So, if you ever get on a flight and you hear me on the intercom, you need to exit. You see that exit sign? Like you need it so bad. Like you need to really be on. Like when they're announcing the exit signs, you need to be looking over there because that's where you should be headed. Yes, I am not a pilot by any stretch of the imagination at all. Trust me on that. This is it. This is where it ends. In fact, actually, the truth, if you want to know the truth is I'm actually afraid of flying. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, I'm afraid of flying. My friends don't like to fly with me. They don't. Because I call out. I call out things even before they happen. Like there was a time, twice, two occasions. I'll tell you this right now. Two occasions. I talked about this yesterday. Two occasions I called out. One was we're taking our we're on the roll uh, from DCA, and the pilots did not put down the flaps. So as we started to roll, I looked over at my friend. I said, "There's a problem." He said, "What?" I said, "We are flying without flaps, and this is a short runway. We need flaps." So he told me that I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. And just as I said that, the flaps started coming down. I'm not kidding you. They forgot the flaps. I'm sure that we would have crashed that day because that runway one is not. I mean, you don't have enough space to play around, you know. So the flaps started coming down as we were on the roll. Imagine that. The next one was we were flying in from Delta. Delta, it was a Delta flight from Atlanta to JFK. And I remember I said to him, "There's a problem." He said, "What?" I said, "This is a friend of mine." I said that the landing gear, there's a problem with the landing gear. He said, "No, there's not." Immediately, as he was just in the middle of saying that, the pilot came on the intercom, and he said, "Ladies and gentlemen," this was a Delta flight. I'll never forget that.
Boarding
He said,
requested.
"Ladies and gentlemen, we're having some problem with the landing gear." So they redirected us over to the water side to keep trying. So we just keep circling around and we'll keep trying. You know, I thought that was my day. I was like, okay, so today's the day. Like I'm finally gonna die on an airplane. That's what it is. Because I don't know how to swim. I mean, you're talking to someone that almost drowned in his bathtub, and that was at the age of like 30. So don't even come to me with anything about water. If I can't stand on it, that's it. I don't go near it. So here we are flying over the water, circling, and then suddenly we hear the third. You know that you hear when the hold on. I want to make sure that the sequence is still running. Okay.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Okay, we got fewer now. So have they started loading passengers? Yes, they have. All right, so let's turn on the sequence for the passengers. So as we were circling, we heard the third, which was good. It meant that the gear was finally down. But I was shocked to hear the pilot say that
Departure checks completed.
protocol that
Bypass
they
pin
have to
inserted.
do it again. So they have to try to take back the landing gear, to take it back up, and then see if it come down again. But that's the way they have to do it. I almost cried, man. I was like, I don't know about you, but I would have considered that as God giving you a second chance. I mean, why do you want to try it again? God has answered your prayer, brought the thing down. Why do you want to try it again? Like why you what are you trying to find
Locking
out?
gear.
What are you trying to find out? But unfortunately he still did it. But guess what? The good thing was, yes, we landed. It came down, and then we landed, and that was the first time I ever landed. We had ambulances and fire stuff escorting us. We had fire crew escorting us along the taxiway. It was kind of scary. No, not ambulance. It was the fire crew. It was very scary. Like it was scary. It was scary. Sometimes we take things for granted. Just for one, an hour, 90 minutes flight from Atlanta to JFK. What that from? But yet anything can happen. Okay, so we are loading folks right now. We're loading cargo and we're boarding passengers. 23, halfway through the cargo. So let's see. We shouldn't see the fuel folks outside. They shouldn't have it. There's one still empty. So we got cargo holder. There's this building in Alton. It's an abandoned building. Every time I pass that building, it's like I have this I don't know what to call it. I have this vision of what I want that building to be. And this vision has now left me. Like every time I pass that building, I pass that place. The vision persists. I can't remember the name of the building, but I pass it all the time. It is very close to the African Wax Museum in Malta. It's right down that street. You can't miss it. It's huge. I was told it used to be an apartment complex. Then there used to be a school, but it closed down. About 5-6 years ago, I had this desire after I left teaching high school because I was so disappointed with public school system. I was so disappointed with the charter school system. Like I was so disappointed. I wanted to basically open my own school. I wanted to prove that the students are not the problem. I wanted to prove that the students are not the problem. The problem is the administration. Period. Every school taught me. I tell you right now that it's not the students. It is not the students. It is not the students. I can guarantee you 100%. I have taught in public and private schools for more than 8 to 7 years. And I can tell you right now, I've taught math of all subjects. Yes, I've taught geometry, algebra, pre-calculus, calculus. Like I can tell you that right now. So if you can imagine, and I've taught inner series of yeah. So yeah, I can tell you that. So I can tell you my experience. It is not legit. It's not. I got tired of my administration. I got tired of people trying to make you do stuff that has been done in the past that never worked. Can never work. And it's like you just wonder, don't they know this? Don't they know this? Like these are people that are supposedly PhDs and you expect that they should know, but they don't. There's a very huge difference between classroom experience and just studying PhD and being a principal. I believe education is one of those things that you need for you to be in charge of a school. I need you to function as a teacher in that school because there's a huge difference between classroom experience and you coming into a school with an Ivy League degree and you just think that things have to be a certain way. It doesn't work. So one of the things that I thought the administration did was I told them, my students, they need to know more about life than they need to know more about algebra. And what do I mean? I told them that I do a civic course for the kids for free. But I need every student graduating to know how to open a bank account, to know what a credit card is, to be able to know how to use a credit card, to know how to open up a business, and you want to open up a business, to know how to file for business license. I need every student that is leaving this school to know how to do those things before. They said no, that's what they do in college. But that's not true. And I'm talking to all these PhD holders, like it's common sense to me. It defies, and every year we still talk about the same issue. Like it's so weird. It's so weird. I'm not used to. I can come into chaos, but I can't live in chaos. Like if you can bring me into chaos. Bring me into the most chaotic environment. Just bring me in there. But when you bring me in, be ready for me to change things. Because I can't live in it. I will definitely change it. But then when you come in and you find out that this chaos is intended, this chaos is meant to, is part of the cell structure, and people just expect you to ride along. Like I've been told things like fight your own, fight your own. Know what battles you fight. You know, like you have at the end of assigning grades to students, you're looking at their score sheets, and other teachers are telling you, look, you don't want their parents to come here. You better give John an A. Or no, don't give him an A because they know that's fine. You know, give him a B. Give him a B or a C. I mean, I thought in the school that this was how teachers distributed grades in school. Students were assigned grades based on how bad or how nasty their parents would have looked with who that they came. And that's the truth. That's what it is. You don't see it. I saw it, you know, and I tried to fight it, but then I saw that it was the intention. Like things are not meant to change. It's like I'm just meant to sit there and just take a paycheck and just pretend everything is fine. Unfortunately, some people are not built like that. All right, the aircraft is loaded. Everything is good. Let's turn on our lights. So here I'm gonna wait a little bit for the announcement. The module that I use for my announcements is gonna come on in a second. But let's get the letter file. That's why during my time as a teacher, I had personal grudge against parents that don't show up for my meetings. Like I really I had a beef with them. Like I like to use that word, beef. I really had a beef with them because it was a big issue for me, you know. And they usually come at the end of the school year. Because like I said, I can come into class.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to welcome you aboard our flight. When you find your seat, please be sure to place your larger carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items underneath the seat in front of you. Unless you're in the front row, please place all of your items in the overhead bin. If you have any trouble finding a location for your carry-on items, please let a flight attendant know and
their child will always come to school with the
If
latest
the overhead bin is
the
full,
latest
please make
everything.
sure you close it as a courtesy to
I've
other
been trying to reach you
passengers.
for
Please
4
double check
quarters.
that all your
You didn't
items are put
respond.
away so that the aisle is clear and other
I've lived
passengers
through
can
the
make their way to
chaos.
their seats. If you're in
And
an
now I've
emergency exit
finalized
row,
my
please
grades.
leave
I've
the
turned
exit seating
everything in.
responsibilities in the
I'm about
card
to
in
start
the
my
seat back in
vacation.
front of you. If you're not able to
And
comply with
something
these actions,
makes
please
you
let a
think
flight
that
attendant
I'm
know so
gonna,
that way
that
you
this
can
is
be
the time
reseated.
for me to
You are
give
free
you
to use your
attention.
portable
Are you
electronic
serious?
devices during the
Oh
boarding
my
process.
gosh.
We
Like
ask that larger electronic
they
devices
hated
are
me for
stowed
that.
once we depart from the gate.
I'm like, are you
Thank you and
serious?
welcome
For
aboard.
I've been trying to reach you. I have called you. I have texted you. I have emailed you. The only thing I haven't done is to show up at your doorstep, and you've not responded. And of course, you've been seeing the notes that your kid has been bringing back, and your kid has been having the latest Nike shoes. That means there's been celebrations. And then you think that now that I've submitted the grades and I'm getting ready to close my door and start enjoying my little vacation, that it is time for me to attend to you. There's a popular phrase I would like to use, but I can't use it here because I think you got me. I'll stop it right there. I'll stop it right there because that's how I felt. Like I'm like no, you gotta be. I'm at the parking lot and I'm gone. I'm gone. Summer break is here. I start preparing from the beginning of the school year for my summer break. So you ain't no. You gotta fix this yourself. You gotta learn how to fix this yourself. But yeah, it's so sad sometimes that you have some parents. If you're a parent and you have a child in high school, please, 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 I beg of you. This is more important than birthdays. This is more important than Christmas celebration. This is more important than anything. Knowing and attending knowing your child's teachers, knowing them. Put a face to your child's name. Put a face to your child's name. It's very important. Go to the school. Let the teachers know that you are also interested in your child's education. Go to their school. Meet the teachers, for crying out loud. This is more important than I don't understand how else I can scream this out loud. Forget the birthdays, forget Easter, forget Christmas, you must attend your child's teachers' meetings. You have to. You have to. You have to. You must. You have to be part of this process. You have to be part of this process. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, I think let's go. So let's move on. I don't think they've gone offline. Oh yeah, they've gone offline. So that's fine. So let's get ready to depart. Wait for official start. Let's see. We are departing. Is our runway. Tail turn. Tail right. Miss Phoenix.
Release parking brakes, please.
Nice parking brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
We are ready to go when you are.
Alright, let's go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 1212 with service to Washington. Our flight time will be roughly 56 minutes. Now that the cabin door is closed, please make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your large devices are now shut down and stowed. Please fasten your seatbelt and make sure that all tray tables and seat backs are in a full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, prepare doors for departure, cross-check, verify straps, and stand by for all call.
So that building that I'm talking about, what did I want to do there? What do I want to do there? I want to build the largest
Ladies and
career
gentlemen, please direct your
center
complete attention to the flight attendants as they
in the
demonstrate the
world
safety
in
features
that
of our
building.
aircraft. You will notice a light
And
illuminated
why
above
do
your
I
seat.
want to do that?
When this light is illuminated, please fasten your seatbelts low and tight
I
across
want to
your
do
lap.
that because
To
there's a
fasten,
problem.
insert the metal
There's a
fittings
big
into one
problem.
another and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the
There's
strap.
a big
To
problem.
release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight as we may experience unexpected turbulence.
And
There are
This
several
is-
emergency exits
Please
on
set
this
parking brake.
aircraft.
This is
Please take a few
sensitive.
moments
This
now
is
to
a
locate your nearest
sensitive,
exit. In some
topic
cases, your
because
nearest exit
there's
may
a
be
way
behind
one
you.
can
If
put
we
it,
need to
and people
evacuate
will
the
get the
aircraft,
wrong
floor-level
impression.
lighting will guide you towards the exit.
So
In the
let me
event of
try
a
and
decompression,
explain.
an oxygen mask will
Let me
drop
try
in
and
front of you. To start the
explain
flow of
what I'm
oxygen,
saying.
pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth, secure the elastic band behind your head, tighten the straps if necessary, and breathe
I
normally.
had a
Although
problem
the bag
with the
does
way
not
some
inflate,
students were
oxygen
being
is flowing to
treated
the mask.
because they were
If you're
not
traveling with a child or
college
someone who
bound,
requires
right?
assistance,
Unlocking gear.
secure your mask on first and then assist others.
They were
Keep your
not
mask on until a member of the crew
interested in
advises you it is safe to remove it. In the event that the
they're
pilot
not
decides to
interested
take
in
us for a
going to
swim, a
college. They've
fashionable
decided
life
they're not
vest is
going to
located in a
college.
pouch under your seat or between the armrests.
And
When
I've
instructed to do
and
so,
I've always
open the
kind of
plastic pouch
lamented
and
the
remove the
way
Tow
vest.
truck
Put
disconnected.
it over your
the
head.
Bypass
schools
pin
treat
Wrap the
removed.
straps around your waist and buckle at the front. Pull the strap to tighten.
Left is clear.
To inflate the
Right
vest,
is clear.
pull
the start
firmly
of
on the
every
red cord
school
only
year,
when exiting the aircraft. If your
before
life
the
vest
start of
does not
every
inflate
school year,
automatically, blow into the mouthpieces for manual
I
inflation.
do a
Each
project
vest
with my
is equipped with a
students,
whistle and light.
and the
If
project is a
necessary, your
very
seat
simple
cushion can
one,
be used as a secondary flotation device.
and I have found
Please
it to be
securely stow your
very
personal items.
effective.
Make sure your seatbelts are fastened and seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position. We remind you that this is a non-smoking
And
flight.
I find it very
Tampering
effective,
with,
and that is very
disabling, or
simple.
destroying the smoke detectors located
The
in the
project is very
lavatories is
simple.
prohibited by
Let
law.
me know
All
what
of
you
this
want to be in the
information
future.
and more
Like,
can be
what
found
is
on
it
the
that you
safety
want to
card
be when you
located in
grow
the
up?
seat back in front of
You
you.
know, a lot of us
We
have done
suggest
that.
reading this and let us know if
But
you
it
have
gives
any
me an
questions.
anchor.
Thank
It
you
gives
for
me a
flying
way
with us,
to
and we
approach
hope
the
you
student.
enjoy
It
your
gives
flight.
me a talking point because some of them that like say, okay, I want to be a doctor, then I can tell you, okay, you need to pay attention to math. You need to pay attention to this. You need to pay attention to sciences. Then during the school year, it will help me to always call the student back to, that's not the attitude. That's not how doctors behave. That's not, you know what I'm saying? So it gives me some kind of anchor, some kind of way to relate to them. And I have two students. One of them said she wanted to follow in the family business. She wanted to become what's the word? An embalmer, like people that embalm others. And that's what she wants to. Let me start the edges. And that's what she would like to do. She was literally put on the side, like it felt like she didn't exist in the school anymore. I was like, why? They told me, oh, they need to make their numbers. What is wrong with wanting to be an entrepreneur? What is wrong with wanting to own a business? Today, she actually owns 2 of those centers. And I can tell you, of all my students that I've taught, I think she's one of the most successful. So I don't believe that teaching students how to follow up their dreams, those of them that say, okay, I am not sure I want to go to college, I don't think giving them alternative routes is making others not want to go to college. Like it's almost like people saying that they're against gay marriage because it's gonna make everybody go and marry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not gay, then why are you worried about it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's not your thing, why is it so much? Why are you bothered about it? So students, I want to give an opportunity to our young folks to be able to fulfill their dreams, to be able to pursue their careers. I had students that didn't know that they didn't need to go to college to be a pilot. Nobody ever gave them that opportunity. Nobody ever gave them that talk. They were not aware. You don't
Ready
need
to
a
go.
college degree to be a pilot. But they were not told that because you want everybody to go to college. Everybody has to go to college. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a sensitive topic because you don't want people to say, oh, you are against college. For heaven's sake, I have 2-3 advanced degrees. I believe strongly in college. But I believe that we can do both. Why can't we do both? Right? Why can't we do both? Why can't we be able to invest in students that want to go to college, but also invest in students that want to start their career without going to college? Why not? Why can't we do both? All right. We have two good starts. What's going on here? Engine lever not set. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. My bad. All right, let's go. I didn't intend this to be this slow. Okay, flaps. We got our flaps. We got that. All right, let's go. Let's go. Okay, and we're gonna taxi and turn. Yes, we're gonna turn right on Bravo. Alright, so this is Alpha.
Please note the cabin lights will be dimmed for departure and landing. If you require additional lighting, there is a reading light on the panel above you.
I'm sorry. Okay, good, good, good. Just there was there's somebody behind me. Wait, okay. So, right. And people are not, sometimes people can be very vindictive, Sometimes people can be very vindictive. I know in Nigeria, I know of this young kid that felt that he was so treated badly by the principal that the principal had a daughter. He went and got the principal's daughter pregnant. Yep, yep. Stop playing with them kids, I can tell you that. Stop doing that. He got his revenge. You can do both. You can do both. There's nothing wrong with doing both. I believe so. There's nothing wrong. If you graduate from high school, you should know what a credit card is. You should know how to get a credit. You should know how to get a credit. You should know what you should know the banking system. You should know how to open up a bank account. You should know how the judiciary works. You should know how to, I know it sounds like a civic class, but it's more than that. You have to add some finance to that. I volunteered to teach that like for free. Like don't even pay me after school. I helped them for at least 30 minutes. They said no, that's not part of the curriculum. Oh, hold on, if I cross a mountain. Oh Lord, I went too far. It's okay. It's okay. Let's move this way. It's okay. Luckily we can correct that. Luckily we can correct that. I see somebody on the other side, so I'm not just going to cross over. I'm not just going to make a left here. actually take this all the way to 5. Alright, that's cool. Let's do that. I can actually take this all the way to 5. Oh, that's interesting. Somebody has the TAP1212. The same. There he is taking off. So let me give you an example of how this is gonna make you cry, right? Just be ready for this. I'm gonna give you this story. This was before I even got a college degree. This was before I got a college degree. Before that. And God knows I'm not telling you this story to boost me. I don't need anybody to do that. I just want you to see how crazy, how ridiculous, how ridiculous things are, and that when people talk about education, some people don't want to fix things. They want it to. It's so, like, you have to understand there is nothing we cannot fix together. There's no, if we come together and say we're going to fix this problem, we'll fix it. There's nothing we can fix. So it should make you wonder why things are not fixed. Things are just still the way they are. In fact, things are getting worse. But yet you have all these educators. You have more PhD graduates. Yet you have more smart people out there. But yet things are not where you believe they should be. So here I am. Stories are interesting. This was before I even started going to my college. I was still partially with the monastery. So this school, they needed a math teacher because their math teacher died just a few weeks before the beginning of the school. I came on board to help out, and I don't even have a degree then because I was with the Catholic Church. So I was supposed to do it for like about a month or two to help out, for them to do the interview thing and things like that. I'm like, fine. I ended up doing it for about 4 years. So this is me, remember? No college degree yet. Just a monk with what they call a common sense. Now, I got in my classroom. The first thing I needed to do was to figure out where my students were at so that I can see how I can help them. My first disappointment was to find out in my 7th grade classroom I had students that were functioning below 4th grade. That was a problem. I cannot. It's easier for me to turn water into wine than to teach 7th grade math principles to somebody that is 4th grade. It's easier for me to turn water into wine than to teach 7th grade concepts to a 7th grader that has not even mastered common arithmetic. That is why students act up in class, because to me, I may think I'm speaking English, but to him, I'm speaking something close to Latin, and that is the Latin, the Middle Ages Latin, not the New Catholic Church Latin. So of course they're going to act up in class. So these are all. Remember, I've never taught before, and these are things I'm learning along as I go along. These are my mental notes. So I gathered all my students. I gave them a test. The test helped me to divide them. In my classroom looked more like, I started practicing diversified learning in 2004. I know they have PhDs have now written about it. But I used to be in trouble because the parents were the first to come to ask for my head on a platter of gold. They didn't even need gold. They'll be okay with whatever is put on. If anything is not available, they somebody just hang it on the wall. All I heard was, my son is an A student, my son is this, my daughter is this, my daughter has never had an F in her life, blah, 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 blah. Oh my goodness. The parent-teacher conference, I had parents lined up outside to see me. The principal was afraid that they may ask for me to be fired. When they're not even paying me. This is just somebody trying to help, So at some point I was like, why are you attacking me? So I called all the parents together and I'm like, okay, hold on. I said to them, who amongst you likes drama? Nobody. I said, do you think I like drama? What do you think is making my life harder? Doing this and bringing you here, or giving you something and just continuing the line of people passing on your kids? So that won their hearts. Hold on, let me take off. You're gonna find this very interesting. Let's take off, because this will tell you the kind of rot that people are going through, especially the teachers. If you see a teacher, give the person a hug. They need hugs, man. They need hugs. Because some of them understand that they are just actors in this drama. Some of them understand the problem, but they're not letting them fix the problem, because some of them have discovered that nobody's trying to fix the problem, and they know the problem is there, and they spend millions around the problem, manufacturing problems from the problem, pretending they don't see the problem, when the problem is literally right there in front of them. And then they'll start creating programs. Then they'll start every Friday, they'll start making us go through these 5 steps of this, 10 steps of this, 15 steps, 20 steps. I'm like, why are we always stepping? Can't we just walk? Can't we just, why are we always have steps to go through? Huh? I'm trying. Listen, I'm telling you, man, you do not understand what it means to be a teacher. You do not understand what these teachers have to go through. Oh my God. Wait, there's story. Let's depart. Hold on. Let me give you some of my high school experiences that's gonna blow your mind. And these are your kids that are in these schools. So don't you think that your school is any different. Trust me, they are not. They are not. That is why you need to be grounded with your child's education. You need to know, you need to have the teacher's cell phone number should be on your phone. When the teacher sees your child, they should see your face. That's the way it works. Okay, hold on.
traffic, Jazz 7797, taxiing runway 15, left 12.
So, so I told the parents, like, okay, I told them they are so lucky that this is what I want from them. That we're all gonna embark on this journey together. That because I like to talk. So I told them, no, you all really got the right person for this job. I told them, I'm not scared of you all because first of all, the only person that I'm scared of is my bishop. So I don't owe you all anything. You're not even paying me for crying out loud. So here, me trying to help you. So here you go. So we're gonna work on this together. So what I did was I like to learn things. If I figure out something I need to do, I like to learn it. So I figured out the school needs I need a website. I built a website. I had to learn HTML and all that. So I built a website. I figured out we needed the school textbook was too black and white for me. I want colors because I like visualization. That's how I learn. During my first year in medical school, when we did pharmacology, I was able to summarize almost about 400 medications with just one drawing. You know how people. I'm that kind of person. Like I could tell a whole story. Just I can draw it. I can draw just from a drawing. I can tell you exactly what this is for, what the gate means, what the drug is, what things like that. So that's how I love to learn like that. So I wanted to bring in the visual learning to my classroom. So I found out about this thing that they were at that time. It was mostly used as displays for meetings and all that. It was the smart board. So I discovered the smart board. I asked the principal if he could buy one for me, and that I will show him. I can show him better than explain to him, but that I just trust me and get me the smart board. He said that it was out of budget.
Traffic 7797, crossing runway 23 at
He
Bravo.
said, "Oh, thank you. Oh, the flight is good. Thank you." And so he said to me that it's not they've already done the budget for the year and blah blah blah. We don't have the money. I said no problem. But I believed so much in what I was working on that I used my own money.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet. You may now turn on your larger portable electronic devices. This is
And I
also a
went and I
reminder to please
purchased
keep
the
your
smart
seatbelt
board
fastened while
myself.
you're seated and do not congregate in the
And
galleys
that
or near
weekend,
the
before my
lavatories.
students
This
arrived
aircraft is
that
equipped with
Monday,
onboard Wi-Fi. You will
had a
be
website
required
set
to
up.
pay a small fee
I
if you
had,
wish to access it. We do
I
offer
had
complimentary
adapted
in-flight
the
TV
entire
thanks to
school
our
curriculum,
partners.
math for the year,
Connect to the
to
Wi-Fi
the
and
smart
you'll be
board.
able to access our wide
And,
range of free live TV
I
and
was able
paid
to
movies
record
library.
my classes so that my students
Traffic, Jazz
no longer could use the
7767,
excuse
takeoff
of
runway
being
15, left
of going to the doctor's
The flight
visit.
crew has turned off the
So
fasten
when you
seatbelt sign.
go to
You
the
can now get
doctor's
up and move
visit,
around the
if you
cabin.
miss my
However, we
class,
ask
you
that you
can
keep your
look up
seatbelt
the
fastened when
video
seated in
online.
the
This
face
was
of
in
unexpected
2004.
turbulence.
You can look up the video online. You can do your assignments. I have a parents help section where I teach the parents the assignments, the homework that your child is supposed to do. I did all that. Trust me, and this is without a college degree. Like this is just me thinking. I think this would help. Let me learn this. I think this would help. Let me do this. I think this would help. Let me do this. Of course, the end of the school year, the school's math score increased by more than 47%. Now, when I say 47%, this is not things that you don't hear any school improvement in double digits. when they talk about school improvements, they are okay with 2%. We increased in maths 2%. That's applaudable. I'm talking about 47%. This was 2004, and I didn't have a college degree. I just figured out this is what needed to be done. So, but guess what? This was a Catholic consortium, and I remember about 2 years later, the principal called me to his office. He refunded me the money I paid for the smart board, and he installed a smart board in every single classroom in that school, and the smart boards are there. He made me the math chair. I didn't even have a college degree. Remember, I'm just helping out. I was made the math chair, and I was tasked recreating the entire school curriculum and adapting, especially math, to the smart board. I thought I was just doing my job, but I didn't know that what I was doing was causing serious stares. I didn't know I was literally turning water to alcohol, like literally turning water to Long Island iced tea. We're beyond wine at this point. It got the smart board people that I bought it from. I can still remember them in Chantilly, Virginia. What's their name? Acuity. They are still there. So this is I'm naming names because I don't play with this. Acuity in Chantilly, Virginia. That's where I bought the smart board. They offered me the position of a sales director. Like they wanted me to, because I was the first to start using it in the classroom. The smart board at that time was mostly used for meetings, for displays, but for the first time they saw somebody really using this in the classroom, and they felt that, wow, this is our gate into elementary school K-12 education. But I was a monk. No. So I declined their offer. But the sad part about all this is that despite all of this progress, the principal called me to his office, and he said to me that he has been asked by the consortium to shut everything down. This is Catholic Church. Okay? So for those of you who think my child is in a Catholic school, let me tell you something. Don't act. Listen. I'm in the middle of writing one book, and that is just going to be the first of a long series. I used to be a Benedictine monk, so I don't think you can get any more into the Catholic faith than that. Okay, stop thinking that people, because they're in the church, they are somehow either holy or they are more sacrosanct or they are like Angel Michael and Gabriel's kids. Or we are all human. Whatever can happen in public school can happen in Catholic private school. I can tell you that right now. It's probably even happening more in Catholic private school than, But he said that we have to pull it down. So the next time they told me, oh, my services were no longer needed. And the principal was so blunt, clear, and he made it clear to me that they said we were too advanced compared to the other schools. Did you hear what I said? We were too advanced compared to the other schools. I was thinking that they would say to me, you know what, can you replicate this thing you did for this school? Can you do it for the whole consortium? I was afraid they were going to take me out of my classroom because I was beginning to enjoy spending time with my students and all that. I was like, well, this is just the beginning. We haven't even started yet. and I'm trying to focus on this school. I was thinking that, that the principal was going to tell me that they're going to pull me from there and they're going to make me somehow of a big consortium officer. No. They said, shut it down. They said, shut it down. And it was shut down. Everything was shut down. Today, what we started in 2004, people now write theses about it. My class was diversified learning in 2004. If you came into my classroom, my kids were divided, they're all in the same grade, they're all in the same year, but that's not how I divided my kids. I have students that were reading on the 4th grade level, I have students that were on the 5th grade level, I have students on the 6th grade level, and the parents were mad as hell because the kids were telling them, oh, I'm with this child, and this child is not that, blah, blah. I'm like, forget that. I told them, what I need you to worry about is what your child is going to be when they leave my classroom. That my job is to make sure that before they leave my classroom, every single child here is ready for 8th grade math concept. That is my job. If you're looking for the teacher that is going to fill out grades, I'm not the person. And I'm tired of students coming to me and the first thing they say is, I hate math. But yet they end up loving it before they finish the school year because they find out that they love math because they love money. You can't love money and hate math. You can't. It means you don't know what you love. These are some of the conversations I have with them. You love money, you love math, but you just don't know. You give your friend $10, you expect him to give you $15 back. You made $5. You don't call it, you just say you made $5, but that's a profit. That's interest charged. You don't call it interest, but that's what it is. So a lot of the concepts that they have difficulty mastering in math, they already do it in real life. They just don't know the definition of it. They don't know the term for it, but they know it. Oh, you have no idea how frustrated it was in the classroom sometimes. In fact, let me tell you this story. I'll tell you this story, and I'm gonna leave you for. Wait a minute, let me make sure. Are we even flying in the right direction? Yeah. Okay. So, oh my God. Okay. So here I am, math teacher, and every time, this lady will be on my behind about classroom discipline. And it's not like there were problems in the classroom. It's just that I wasn't following the exact sequence. There's a proven sequence of doing classroom. First 5 minutes, you do this. Next 10 minutes, you do this. Next 7 minutes, you do this. I'm like, it's not gonna work. Can you all just let me teach this? Can you all just leave me to do my job? You've already seen historically that I have excelled in it. Can I just do this? And they're like, oh, she's the coach, so you have to do it her way. I was so troubled because it wasn't working. And yet, I'm being penalized for that. So one of the seasoned teachers, she's like, they call me Brother E because of my affiliation with the brothers. They call me Brother E. She's like, Brother E, why are you so worried? I said, oh my gosh, this coach is driving me crazy. She's like, what happened? I'm like, this is what she wants me to do, blah, 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 literally like this. The results are, I'm doing it another way and the results are outstanding, but she still wants me to do it that way. She's like, oh goodness, that's easy. She said, tell her to come and model it for you in the classroom. Just tell her, just go to her and say, this wonderful concept, I would love to see how this can be applied in my classroom. Please, can you come and show me, please? So I went to the coach. I went to her and I'm like, you know what? I think part of why I'm struggling with this is because I've not seen you really show me how to do this. So please, would you kindly just take one class period and show me? And she's like, oh heck yes, oh sure. Do you have your coffee yet? On the D-Day, I was supposed to sit at the back. I was supposed to be non-existent, right? And here she walks in, all prepared and ready to teach. The class is 55 minutes long. The first 5 minutes, I was supposed to do, what was it again? I can't even remember. I was there 20 minutes. She was still attempting to do that. I went to use the restroom. I came back. And as I was coming into the door, she was literally flying out of the door. She lasted in the classroom for about 30 minutes. She didn't even get through the first 5 minutes section. And this is my coach. So, when I walked into my classroom, I said to my students, what did you do to her? They said she thinks she's all that. Oh my God. Look, let me tell you something. Forget the administration. If you disrespect students, if you think that you can come to a high school and disrespect the students and think you can just talk to them and expect them to obey you or to follow your, oh Lord. Anyway, so during recess, I went down to her to get an input, to get a, so what happened? You know what this lady said? I'll never forget it. She called my students demons. She said those kids are demons. Maths PhD. 0 classroom experience. 6 figures. In charge of teachers who are in charge of schools teaching. No classroom experience. She called my students demons. Anyway, imagine if your child was one of those students. Here you are investing your money. You don't know that somebody's calling your child a demon. Because they insist that teaching must be followed in a certain way. They broke it down for me into almost like 7 steps. Out of the 55 minutes, 5 minutes is this. After 5 minutes, 7 minutes is this. I told them it's not going to work. They come to my class. They see students attentive. They see the outcome. Out of those 7 steps, I broke it down to 2-3 steps. I'm the math teacher. I know what I need to do to get my students to the next level. All my students, I'm not a lecturer. I'm a teacher. Some of my kids do not yet understand 7th grade concepts. They are in 5th grade level. I cannot address them at the 7th grade level. It's not gonna work. I don't care what PhD you have. It's not going to work. So they attacked me for practicing diversified learning in the classroom. But today, theses have been written on the wonders of diversified learning. So I'm telling you all this to let you know that I want you to feel for those administrators that are really trying to make a difference. And I want you to feel how difficult, sometimes how hard it is for them to make any change. Especially those who discover that you've not been hired to make any change. You've just been hired for filling the position's sake. Like, don't do anything, just sit there. That's basically what we hired you for. Just sit there. Who asked you to write up 7 steps of a better school system? We know that. We know we can improve this, and every Friday we talk about how we can improve it. Every year we make budgets on how we can talk about how we can improve it. You know, we spend money talking about how we can try to improve it. We need that money to flow. We're not trying to fix things. We're just trying to make sure that it works enough to just keep working. I'm telling you, I've heard so much stories like that. I've heard so many stories like that. That is like, it's so shocking. It's so shocking. So if you ever wonder why are things, like why are we going through this every year? The same thing. The same thing. It's like a circle. Every year we go through the same thing. The same thing. The same. It's because some people benefit when it's like that. Some people need that data to still get some of the things they need to keep going. You know, some of them need that data to move some schools from some locations. Some of them need that data to be able to shut down some schools in some areas and build fancy malls and build more speed cameras. And then they wonder why teenage crime is up. You know, we've now created a problem. Now we're spending money to try and control the problem we have now created. We haven't yet solved the problem. It's still there. But we create more of it. And then spend time, spend money, spend resources putting out fires that we created, fires that were non-existent, but we created them. Every year we do that. Every year something. Every year something. Every year something. Every year. And it's so tiring. Like I'm the kind of person that I can understand one time making a mistake one time. Right? But why are we talking about the same problem every year? Why? Because we are not solving it. Because we're not trying to solve it. There are many teachers that are working behind the scenes trying to solve problems. But the administration do not think that is the way to go. The administration didn't think that that's the way to go. It's affecting the numbers. When I wanted to start free vocational class, 45 minutes after school, I was just going to devote 1 hour teaching kids about, especially the people that are graduating from high school. I want to teach them how to get a credit card, what credit means. I want them to know that how they can open up a business loan. Some of them were interested in being barbers and open up their hair salons. They should have that information. Why would you get out of high school and you don't know how to open up a bank account? Why? They told me no, that I'm promoting students not going to college. I'm like, how stupid is that? How stupid is that? Why can't we do both? Why can't we do both? Especially when we look at the attrition rates people leave in college. You force some students to go into college, they stay there for 6 months, 8 months, they leave. Now they have a debt. One of my students said she wasn't interested in college. They put her on the side. But today she's making more than $500,000 doing something that she loves to do. She's a mortician. And when I taught her in 10th grade, that was what she told me she wanted to do. And I encouraged her. And today she has 2 centers. She's making more than $500,000. And she's what? She's barely 21 years old. You know, it's like, I don't know. But don't tell me we're trying to solve problems. We're not interested in solving problems. If we decide to solve problems, we are smart enough to solve any problem. If we decide to put an end to something, we can come together and we can put our heads together and figure that out. I believe that. Honestly, I do. So the fact that it's not happening to me is not because we've not figured it out. It's because we don't want to figure it out. Okay, we have reached our TOD, so we're going to start our descent in a second. Okay. All right. So my advice to you, if you're a parent and you have a child in high school, I need you to please, especially when it comes to the sciences and math. Teachers tend to have a lot of influence on students with regards to that. If your child is having a problem with math, check if the child is having a problem with her or his math teacher. Because they can be 2 different things. There was a parent that told me that her child was, she used the word dumb. And I said that the child can't understand math. And she just accepted that. I said, are you kidding me? I said, what does he love doing? What does he do all the time? He said, he likes to play games. I said, okay, do me a favor. When he's playing this game one day, just observe him. Just observe him and let me know what you think. So he got into playing, is it Call of Duty? Something about war. Call of Duty, I think that was it. And the next time I saw the parents, she said she couldn't believe it. I said, what? He said the guy was literally commanding battalions. He was winning war games. He was organizing battalions. He was fighting. He was able to. I said, that's math. How are you going to say he's not good at math? You just have to find a way to present it to him so that he's not bored to death. But strategy is math. My students love to make money. They're all business inclined. That's one thing I can tell you right now. All of them want to make money. And I told them, you all love math. You just don't know what it's called. Sometimes we really have to decide if we really want to solve a problem. if we really make up our mind to solve a problem, I believe we can do that. But those of you, anyway, because I want to close out now, about to land. Those of you who are parents and you have kids in K-12 education, I beg of you, if there's any opportunity you have to sit with their teacher, to talk about the education of your kids with your teacher, with their teacher, please take that very seriously. That's where it all starts. You don't want to wait till 10th grade to find out your kid has been passed on from the 3rd grade. You don't want to know that because the more they are passed on, the more difficult it is for the next teacher to help them to catch up. And some of these teachers have heavy workload. Last time I taught, I had almost about 40 students in one class, and I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 4 sessions of 90 minutes before break, and these are different sessions. So that's almost, I see almost about 200, 300 students on a daily basis. And I would love to tell you that I can give my attention to 300 different students, my full attention, but that would be lying to you. Teachers are human. They get exhausted, they get tired. So help them. Make sure your child's teacher has your cell phone number. It has cured a lot of issues. It has taken a lot of issues in my classroom. But I tell the student, I'm about to call your dad. I'm about to call your mom. I'm about to call grandma. It worked miracles. So, all right. You got off here. Let's chat, man. I'll talk to you. Want something?
To assist with customs at our destination, flight attendants will begin handing out forms momentarily. Please review and complete these forms and keep them with you for presentation upon arrival.
Pilot's discretion, maintain flight with 210.
Descend pilot's discretion for flight level 210, drop your feet level.
Speedbird Speedbird Concorde 188, say speed.
We're at 390 knots for right now, but we can add deceleration for you if you need.
Delta 188, for now you're fine, but traffic, travel clock. 40 miles, same direction.
Rider Speedbird 188.
Sorry, good Delta 1480, radar call for 380.
Delta 1408, Washington Center, good evening. Attention all stations, Washington Center will be closing in 5 to 10 minutes.
Washington Center, JetBlue 1146, we're checking in 370.
JetBlue 1146, Washington Center, good evening. JetBlue 2490, question JetBlue 2409, descend via Delivery arrival landing south. Washington altimeter 3001.
Altimeter 3001, descend via the Dale 3 arrival landing south, JetBlue 2409.
Delta 1480, do you want to fly to my airspace using a time acceleration? Delta 1480 Washington.
Delta 48.
Would you like a time acceleration?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Would you like a time acceleration?
Yeah, that would be very much appreciated. Delta 14.
Delta 1480 approach borrow to twice up the speed. Delta 1480.
Delta 14. Sorry, you cut out for that for a second.
Delta 1480 approved for twice for the time acceleration.
Approach. I don't really know what she said there. I'm sorry. Really sorry about that.
Delta 1480 approved for twice of the normal rate.
Approved for twice up to normal rate. Delta 14.
Florida Transport 94, can we just taxi straight ahead to that gate?
Yes, good night.
Premier 4907 indicated Kilo 5 anywhere on the Alpha concourse.
Denver PT 198, welcome to Washington, taxi straight to gate, good night.
Straight to gate, PT 198, see ya.
Delta 2992, Lally Tower, wind 1407, runway 23 right, clear to land. Delta 2992,
Delta
wind 1407, runway 23 right, clear to land. Delta 1480, time acceleration approach board to the port. Our time sport of the normal rate.
Transfer normal rate. Delta 14.
Premier Air 4907 vacated Kilo 5. Like to park anywhere on the Alpha concourse.
Commander 4907, welcome to Dollars, right on Kilo to gate, good night.
Kilo gate, have a good night. Premier Air 4907, next to service.
Delta 2902, question Delta 2992.
Delta 2992, we're collect land runway 23 right.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell you. Runway 23 right, clear to land.
Yeah.
November 320, Charlie check. Question number 320, Tango Charlie, report top of descent.
We are approximately 40 miles from top of descent.
Number 320, Tango Charlie, Roger, report 10 miles from top of descent.
We'll call 10 miles top of descent. And which runway is being used at Wilmington currently?
I don't know, I'll think about it later.
Alright. Alright, 0 Tango Charlie.
JetBlue 2008, leaving my airspace. Cleveland Central Plan, radar service terminated, frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved, JetBlue 2008. Good night.
Good night. Delta 175, cross Lobbinsville BUR at the maintain flight 370. Delta 175.
175, go ahead.
Delta 175, cross Lobbinsville BUR at the maintain flight 370.
Could you spell that for us, 175?
Delta 175, it'll be Romeo Bravo Victor BUR.
Romeo Bravo Victor at 14,000, was it? So 175?
370.
370 at Romeo Bravo Victor 175.
American 605, cross Ritchie at the maintain flight 270.
Cross Ritchie at 270, American 605.
Center, this is Air Canada 1212, Richard.
Air Canada 1212, standby. Station calling standby. JetBlue 1146, descend main flight with 240.
That for JetBlue 2409.
JetBlue 1146, descend main flight with 240. Delta 125, expect ILS runway 19, question expect visual approach, runway 19 left approach, dollars altimeter 29er, question 3000. Air Canada 1212, Potomac approach, reset transponder squawk 3740. Air Canada 987, leaving my airspace. New York Central, plan radio service terminated, frequency change, approved, good night.
What would I usually call 987? So?
Delta 125.
Center
Air
Delta
Canada
1480,
1212.
we had subway for a minute.
Okay, I think I blocked somebody, say again.
Delta 1480, we had subway for a minute.
Washington Center Delta 2992, vacate runway Bravo 6.
Delta 1408, approved as requested.
Washington Center, JetBlue 1126.
JetBlue 1146, descend and maintain flight with 240.
Descend and maintain 240, JetBlue 1126.
Delta 125.
Delta 125.
Delta 125, expect visual approach runway 19 left. Dollars altimeter 3000.
Okay, expecting visual 19 left for Delta 125.
Air Canada 1212, reset transponder squawk 3740.
3740, Air Canada 1212.
Washington Center Delta 2992, vacate runway Bravo.
Delta 2992, welcome to Lolly, taxi to gate, good night.
This is gate 29 and Delta 2992.
Alright, JetBlue 2409, Washington Center is closing. You can plan, question Washington is landing south, so suggested landing would be runway 19. Radar service terminated, moving to Washington Seattle.
122.8, landing south, CA1212.
0 Tango Charlie, 9 miles, top of descent.
J.O. Tango Charlie, Roger. Washington Center is closing. Radar service terminated, frequency change approved.
Over to Unicom, 0 Tango Charlie. Thanks for the ATC, have a good night, see ya!
See ya. Break number 90425, leave my airspace, Jacksonville Central, plan radar service terminated, frequency change approved, good night.
Over to the dark side, 425, see ya.
Delta 125 and Speedbird Concord 188 and Air Canada 1212, Washington Center is closing. Radar services terminated. Frequency change to Dollar Seat is approved. In real life, Dollars is landing on May 19 left.
Thank you very much for the ATC.
Ladies and gentlemen, the flight crew has turned on the fasten seatbelt
Roger, Delta
sign.
125.
Please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelt.
Delta 175, leave my airspace, Boston Central, plan radar
We have
service
begun our
terminated,
final
frequency
descent
change approved.
into Washington. Flight
Please
attendants will be
ensure
passing
the
through the
device
cabin to
remains
collect
in
any
flight
trash
control
one
safety.
final time. Please ensure
Delta
tray tables are
596,
stowed
leaving
and
my
seats
airspace
are in
in
a full
Central,
upright
plan radar
position.
service
Please
terminated,
also
frequency
store
change
any
approved.
carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you. Please complete all Wi-Fi related
Attention
tasks and
stations,
stow any
Washington
larger
Center is
electronics.
closed. Frequency change is approved, good night.
Dulles traffic, mainland 9183, taxi runway 30 via Zulu Yankee 11, Dulles.
Dulles traffic, Delta 125, entering downwind, runway 19er left straight in.
Say startup costs. This is startup costs.
Dulles traffic, 9183, taking off runway 30 to the northeast of Dulles.
Just to let everybody know, please, I'm direct now for 19 left. I believe we can all have the radar. Please, let's be mindful and have some fun here. I don't need to move from anybody, so we should have a sequence here. I'm first for arrival, please. Air Canada 1212 is established for 19 left.
Delta 125 left base for runway 19 left.
Dulles traffic, Spirit Concord 188, passing 4000.
Direct to Route
We're gonna be
Davis.
turning left base for a 19 center here in the next 10 to 15 miles close.
Delta 125 turning left final for runway 19 left, Delta traffic.
Air Canada 1212 on short final for runway 19 left with 0 intentions to turn around. Let's try and get on the runway as fast as we can.
Retard.
I'm just doing all this so I can get off the runway fast.
Dallas traffic, Delta 125, 10-mile final, runway
Ladies
10
and gentlemen, welcome
left,
to
or excuse me,
Washington.
19
The local time
left,
is
Dallas.
11:22 p.m. and it's currently about 68 degrees Fahrenheit. You can now use your mobile devices.
Thank you.
Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt
Thank
sign
you
is
so
turned
much.
off.
And thank you for being
Remember
there
to use
joining
caution
the
when
club.
opening
I
the
even
overhead
have a fan
bins, as
club.
items may have shifted during the flight.
Now I
We
have
thank
a
you
fan
for
club.
flying with us,
Thank
and
you
we
so
hope to
much.
see you again.
Dallas traffic, speed
We
recall
apologize for the delay.
188 to
Please
9
coordinate
miles
with
for
airline staff
12
as
center.
necessary regarding connecting
This is
flights
the
or vouchers.
A320. Last time I tried the A321, I think I had the tail strike. Okay, so let's look at the runway. Where are we going now? Okay, we need to go this direction. I think do you know of any third-party good recording software? Like, I have this one that I use every now and then, but I don't know if you have anyone that, any suggestions, any new ones out there that will be good at recording stuff. 125. I would say we stopped using the vehicle 1225.
Dallas traffic, Delta 125, 5 mile final, runway 19er left.
Dallas traffic, clear ground for 188 clear. I'm on under center taxi and gate Bravo 51 Dallas.
Passengers deboarding started.
And Dallas traffic, Delta 125, clear of runway 19er left.
No, I was asking like, you know how you can able to record your landing on Microsoft and be able to replay it, but be able to change the scene so that you can watch yourself landing. this one that I have here, I've not used it in a long time. It's called Flying something. So I was just wondering whether there's anything there. It's called Flight Control Replay. It's called Flight Control FSFS. So this is an example of it. So, I don't know what just loaded. Let's see. Okay, so this is what I need to do first. I should have done this before I did what I just did. So give me 1 second. Let me do this. Close this out, right? It's running by its own now. It's okay. I just wanted to get to the date. It's gonna crash because I started from control. It's supposed to be a replay, but you can see it's not really a replay. Because a replay, it's replaying an already completed flight. But it's not really that. So let me go back. Oh, so you do your flight recorder first. And then you do TikTok recording. Okay. Yes. That makes sense. I'm trying to see if I can I don't know why it is. I don't know what is wrong with it. I don't know why. Because it's actually the road thing, and I have everything highly set up. I mean, everything is at the highest level. Right? So something is wrong. Something has to be wrong. Okay, hold on. This is
And our traffic Lufthansa 430, have a clear runway 10 center, taxiing to Terminal 5. Crossing 10 left on Echo Echo. Go ahead.